Yo, what is good? It's another day for my 100-day challenge trying to upload on YouTube. So my video today is on CS50, a course which I did, which I finished rather last year. And just want to share my thoughts on the actual course itself. First of all, for people that don't know what CS50 is, it is an introductory course to computer programming. Now, you might be wondering, with the advent of AI, how will that conversation about computer programming go about, which I will get to later. But this course, uh, I did it before AI really started to explode into the scene like it has right now. Because, I mean, the changes that have taken place in AI over the years have been absolutely profound and crazy. Yes, there are issues. Yes, there are hallucinations still. Yes, there are problems. But the overall trend is being towards improvement rather than denigration. Of course, there's a lot of people on TikTok that say that AI is running out of information to talk about. AI will peak. Then another group of people are saying no, AI will keep improving. Technologies are improving to assist AI in its growth. So it's a whole other conversation. But today, I really want to focus on computer programming and learning about it. And also, why would be still relevant? Because here's the thing, we still need software to run most of our operations. It does not help that everything will be given to an AI. Now, there's this theory, I think, who spoke about it, like a well-known CEO, I think the Anthropic CEO or some guy told about the whole AI agent concept, where instead of software, we are heading towards the direction where everything will be handed to AI agents. So we don't have to rely on software. But then again, the underlying software to operate the AI agents, there should be a programmer to program those things. But anyways, that's a whole conversation. We can talk about it in a different video, and we might need more than 10 minutes to talk about that sort of thing. So I just want to express about CS50. First of all, this course, mind you, was a great, sort of refresher, as I say here. So it says here that I've been doing the course for over a month, and I talk about now here about my progress being a little slow, because one thing's for sure, when I have done this self-learning courses, my learning has become really slow because of issues that take place in my life, other obligations, and just procrastination, pretty much. Sometimes, it takes time for me to finish things off. So that's pretty much uh, my learning progress. So it took me more than a year to finish the course, I think. Was it more than a year? Yeah, it was almost a year or more than a year, if I remember correctly, that it took me to finish this course. So when I uh, did started this course in April, I think I finished it around May or June, something like that. April 2023 to June 2024, so something like that. So the course structure is something like this, I think. Let me see. Uh, no, that's not the course structure. That's an article on AI. Nope, that's not it too. That's something else. This is, by the way, an article on how this was actually released during the time when I was learning the course. It was about how people have found out about this course and how it's become popular over time. But I don't have the syllabus with me right now. But generally, it goes into different. It's divided up to 11 weeks. It goes by first it starts off with scratch, then I think it goes to
HTML and CSS, and then goes on to the more lower level stuff like assembly code, machine code, zeros and ones, data sorting, all of that good stuff, right? All the core stuff that makes up programming and whatnot. And then it goes on to back to the higher level stuff like JavaScript. And I think David Mann talked about this in a podcast also, how he goes from, if I'm not mistaken, he goes from high level to low level and then back to high level with JavaScript and Python. So uh, it is a very good refresher if you have picked up uh, coding, let's just say coding uh, knowledge over time. Oh, and I forgot to tell you, I should have mentioned this earlier. This, by the way, is a Notion note that I wrote back in 2023, June 2023, as I was doing the course. And I picked up on particular interesting comments. If you want, I will put a separate link to my reflections on the course, because I think that deserves its own entire section. So, in terms of learning about programming, it was very insightful. You get to see the products that you say if it's Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, you get like a deeper appreciation for the technology that you use, if you know what I mean. Like when I watch YouTube or when I check Instagram, now because this programming course I did back some time ago, I don't feel it as much as I do now because it has been some time since I did this. But I feel a sense of appreciation that, okay, when, for example, when content is hosted on Instagram, you see your favorite influencer, your brain rot memes, or your yap sessions on YouTube, whatever it is, right? How the text is presented, how the processing of the video takes place in real time. All these things are neatly made in a way. I think this Indian guy Varun, I think that's his name. He talked about this in his video called AI Rappers. Everything is nicely presented, so you don't have to see any of the underlying workings that are taking place. Like for example, the code translating from machine code to assembly to HTML to what you see on the screen, right? For example, when people see code, it's like, oh my god, what the hell is this gibberish? But it gets even more gibberish than that. You have assembly, and then when you go even one layer beneath, it gets even more gibberish. So it's weird like that, but you have to sort of appreciate. It's like basically how our homes and the places we live in and the places we work, the streets and all are built up of it. It starts with concrete, cement, mash it up together, and you have the actual people making all the mixtures, laying it out, the bricks, all these components. When you break it down, they create the world that we run on. We literally work and live in these spaces. So same thing applies to Instagram. Each and every element, for example, like the like button, the save button, all these things have a sense of effort and work put into each and every aspect of coding, that is right. Now, learning about this programming thing will help you in certain situations, like for example, be it analysis or uh, if you want to, like for example, if you want to analyze like data, very useful skill. If you want to build something, like build a favorite app, for example, people say you can do vibe coding, but knowing a bit of programming will help you in terms of vibe coding. Like you want to build your own app right now, it helps to be able to vibe code, right? It helps to uh, know about programming if you want to vibe code. You don't just go into vibe coding with AI without knowing anything. If you go into this thing black and white, you're like, what is HTML? What is CSS? What is JavaScript? What is header files? What is meta information? What is APKs, SDKs, right? What are font files? All these things you need to know, right? So if you know all those things, then it's easier for you to do this course. And by the way, the lecturer that did this course was, he was one of the best lecturers in my opinion who taught me programming. Let's be honest, because most videos, lectures, or even W3 schools for that matter, the knowledge didn't just stick into my brain like David Malin was able to. So yes, there is some worth in doing this course, even in this day, in the advent of AI and this rapid advances in technology, and whole replacing programming and whatnot. Maybe you don't have to spend as much time, but at least knowing the basics of it would help you. And I will share this, uh, what I've written here, for you to go and check it out. And I think it might, you know, be beneficial for you. So I will definitely have a lot more insightful topics to talk about, because even CS50 is something that I've, you know, swam my waters in. Really haven't gone too deep into these topics. And yeah, that's what I want to say. And thank you very much. See you on day 4. Peace.